Well, here I am again for the third and final introductory video that I've put together just to get us started with our e-business and online entrepreneurship class. And what this deals with are what I call the immutables. The immutables. And if you don't know what the word immutable means, it's simply an adjective that means, this isn't very helpful, is it? It means non-mutable, but unchangeable or changeless. In other words, these are things that when I teach an online class, I view as unchangeable policies, procedures, rules. And these are mentioned in the syllabus. These are outlined in the syllabus, but they're important enough that I need to talk about them right up front, right now. So let's get into those, okay? Item number 1. Due dates and times for all class assignments are firm. And that's just another way of saying absolutely no late assignments will be accepted. When we have this online class, as you'll see from our assignment schedule, there is a due date for everything, which basically means quizzes and examinations, and we have to stick by that. It's important too for me just to hold you to that as we go along. Otherwise, if you don't hold yourself to it, bad things happen. Okay, so basically what I'm saying here is failure to submit an assignment by the specified submission deadline will result in a grade of a 0. And, you know, that may sound hard, but it is a fair rule for everyone. Okay? And it's only under unusual circumstances that I make any exceptions to that. And if you want to read about what the circumstances are, they basically are those circumstances related to attendance. So look at our syllabus in the attendance section, and it tells when a faculty member is obligated to provide makeup work for a student or late work for a student. All right? Item 2. I don't give any opportunities for extra credit. Always toward the end of the semester, students contact me saying, "Oh, I've just been blowing this class off, but now I see I'm not going to get the grade I need. Can we do anything for extra credit?" Nope. In those 43 years I mentioned to you that I've taught, I've never done anything for extra credit, and we don't have it in here. Okay? I just want everybody to follow the same set of rules. I think that's really important. I'm a big same set of rules guy. Item 3. If you plan to have your examinations proctored by a non-MSU entity, and that could be either a physical entity, like a community college where you're living, or perhaps online, most students doing it online use Kryterion, any fees that you incur to do that are your responsibility. Put another way, proctoring fees aren't going to be paid by Missouri State. If you live out of state and want to make an arrangement with a local community college to proctor, and they charge you, 25 bucks to proctor that exam, you have to pay them. Missouri State doesn't pay them. I've been asked to put that in all of my online materials. Item number 4. If you plan to have examinations proctored at a non-Missouri State physical location, like the proctoring lab or center in Strong Hall or the one in the library, you need to inform me of your plans by email at least 1 week before the date you'll be taking that exam. I need time to get in touch with the proctor and to send them the information they'll need. Okay? And if you don't provide me that information and exam time comes up, I don't guarantee you that you could take the exam. You could get a 0 for it. if I can't arrange things. It's a big courtesy to proctoring facilities to provide them with advance notice. They basically are a business. Even if they're a university, they're a business. They have to plan for what it is that they do. By the way, while not particularly applicable to this item, if you use Kryterion proctoring, you have to schedule your appointment with them at least 2 days in advance. All right? I wanted to say a little bit more about the fact that this says if you're going to do it at a non-MSU physical location. I probably should have said non-MSU Springfield physical location. If you plan to take the exams in Lebanon or at MSU in West Plains or any of the other MSU locations where exams are proctored that are not in Springfield, you need to tell me a week ahead of time so I can contact your proctor. Okay? And I'd like you to do that for every exam. Okay? Even if you're taking the exam at the same place every time, I have 80 or 90 students in my online classes, and the best way to make sure that arrangements get made for everyone is for you to contact me every time. Okay, item 5. If you are being proctored, whether online or in a physical facility, you have to present a photo ID to your proctor, whether that proctor is MSU or non-MSU, before you take each of our, this says 4, it's our 3 exams. Okay? And if you can't present an ID, you won't be allowed to take the exam, which could mean you get a 0 unless you can run back quickly to wherever you live and pick up an ID and get back there. All right? Item 6, when you email me with a question at the address I provide below, I promise you I'm going to respond within 24 hours. In other words, one of the immutables is an immutable for me. I'll get back to you within 24 hours, and furthermore, I'll make every attempt to respond immediately. I have pretty much all the technology you need to do that, so unless I'm in a meeting or out to dinner or in church or whatever, I'll respond quickly. And I think, as I said when I was talking about our Blackboard website and talking about the faculty information, ordinarily, if you don't hear from me in 12 hours, you need to email me again. I just don't like it when I hear from a student, or I feel so badly when I hear from a student after the fact and they say, well, I emailed him and he didn't respond. It's possible for me, just like it's possible for emails to get buried in my inbox. And I really try for that not to happen. But as an immutable, I promise you I'll respond within 24 hours. You need to email me again if you don't hear within 12, and I will try to respond immediately. And there's my email address. You need to use this one. It doesn't work well for you to respond to an email that I send out by Blackboard. When I send out an email to the whole class, it is from Missouri State, and sometimes you see this email address on there, but I found out in the past that some students responding to emails I distribute from Blackboard just by clicking reply, those emails don't get to me because you might notice one of those addresses that comes with my Blackboard emails says no reply on it. So it's better for you to have my email address and type that in. Oh, speaking of Blackboard emails, probably should have mentioned this when I was going over the syllabus, but I found out in the past that ever since Microsoft Outlook started including that clutter box, since Blackboard is distributing to a list, sometimes Blackboard emails go into your clutter box. So if they're going there, you need to make sure that Outlook knows not to put them there, that you want to see them in your inbox. And if you don't know how to tell Outlook how not to have the emails from me put in your clutter box, okay, contact the MSU Computer Service Help Desk. If you go to their online website, I think there's even a link right there on the front page that tells you how to do that. Okay, but they're very helpful. Item 6, also about me. I will communicate with all students in the class. That's kind of like with the class as a whole, at least once per week and frequently multiple times per week. So you will hear from me. I promise you that. I won't be not present. I won't be away without leave, AWOL. Okay? And my communications are going to come to you either in the form of Blackboard announcements or in the form of email messages that I send through Blackboard. Or if you send me a question, I'll respond directly to you. Okay, but this is one of the things I put in my online classes as immutables. I will stay in touch. Okay? And by the way, all the emails that I send to the class will be sent to your MSU email address. That's what's in Blackboard. That's where they'll go. So if you regularly use a Gmail address, please check your MSU address with respect to this class. I won't accept as an excuse, well, I didn't see your email. If all you do is once every week and a half, go to your MSU address. Please go to it. Okay? Item number 8 is I will post adjusted exam scores on Blackboard within 24 hours of each exam's due date. You will know your exam score soon. Okay? Usually I do it within 12 hours after the due date. Okay? And by adjusted, that simply means this. I've never taken an exam that has 50 or 100 questions on it, where multiple choice questions, where at least 1 or 2 or 3 of those questions, I thought the professor was asking one thing, but he or she was asking something else. And since we're online, the way I always handle being fair with that is I look at every exam and then I adjust up, not down, I adjust the exam score for you. Okay? And you will know how I am adjusting that within 24 hours, probably earlier than that. Okay? You'll know your raw exam score within an hour after the due date. So you'll know the raw score, but your actual score for purposes of grading will be higher than that by a few points. Okay? And just usually scores will be posted during the morning following an exam's due date. All right? And whenever you take a quiz, your score will be posted immediately after you take it. And then after the due date for a quiz, you can look more deeply into the quiz to see what you missed and to explore why you missed it. All right? Item 9, I'll treat all students fairly and will give special treatment to no student unless legal guidelines like ADA or other regulations prescribe that treatment. I really strive to be fair. Okay? Well, those are the immutables. And while I have them in the syllabus, I found that it's good to kind of talk about them to you in a video like this. So let's get going with the class, okay?